The Phantom of the Opera is there inside your mind. Hi guys, I'm back again to make another video. I'm sure the mask has already given the game away as to what I've been doing today. And if you watched the other video I made today entitled uh, sub4sub.com, don't fall for the scam, you'll know why I've got this mask. Well, today, yes, I went up to London, me and my family, my mum, my sister and my dad, and me of course, and we went to see The Phantom of the Opera at Her Majesty's Theatre in London. And what a great performance it was. It was absolutely incredible. Um, I'm having to hold this on with my hands at the back because I don't know how much you can see of it, but this sort of ribbon that they've attached to the back of the mask is actually so useless it can't fit onto my face. It won't hold properly onto my face. If I did, it'd be drooping halfway down my face, and you wouldn't be able to see a damn thing. But anyway, on with the video. It was absolutely incredible. We set out on the 11 train, we got up to London, and yeah, it was absolutely amazing. My mum and my sister had already been to see it before, but it was the first time me and my dad had gone to the theatre to see it. I've seen the film, and I have seen the production of Love Never Dies, which is the sequel. That's not as good. In fact, its closing just shows how an ineffective a sequel it was. But the original Phantom of the Opera has been going on for over 25 years. It's its 25th anniversary this year. And you can see why when you watch it. It is absolutely incredible for so many reasons. I mean, the music's become iconic. The characters are the characters are memorable. The most interesting, easiest thing about it is when Andrew Lloyd Webber took the story of Phantom. It had already been wrote. It was a story that was already there. The story you're basing it on a story that already exists. You're not having to write it from scratch. All Andrew Lloyd Webber simply did was almost put it to music, add music in, add these songs, and the songs have become just as iconic as the characters and everything. And one of the biggest things in Phantom, of course, the most iconic one is that theme tune, the dun 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 dun, and the organ music and that goes with that. And then the characters have become really iconic. This mask has now become incredibly iconic. And well, anyway, we watched it. I did buy something. I bought this. This is the souvenir guide, the brilliant original. And then this mask, you're probably wondering, that's not the Phantom's mask. Well, that was the original Phantom's mask. That was the way the Phantom's mask was originally intended to be. They changed it from the two-eyed version and that one to this purely because they couldn't, you couldn't get the expression on our faces comes with eyes and eyebrows, and with the two-sided one you couldn't see his eyebrows, you couldn't see the Phantom's eyes, therefore you couldn't tell what emotion he was sometimes he was trying to convey. This mask allowed you to see one half of his face, so you can get detail on the other half, and you know exactly what he's feeling. But I got this souvenir guide. Absolutely incredible performance. I think another thing that does bring you in is the story, the characters, the music, and the setting really helps as well, because the theatre, the inside of the theatre and various parts of the play, various parts of the performance play out like you're actually in the opera house. There are bits in the production when the people will talk, when the characters are they're in rehearsals, and they're like a performance within a performance. They're supposed to be performers in an opera house, and there's performances. They're doing their performances, but it's all part of the main performance of Phantom of the Opera. So you can get stories within stories, and you can get plays within a performance within a performance. But that's really effective, and it also is very great in that you're the audience. You're also like the audience watching the people play their performances. It's almost like the audience in the opera house. And to make it that experience of an opera house, there are even bits when the Phantom will come off areas of the stage, and he'll be like, they've got this special like area above the main stage, which is like a walkway, and for a few bits the Phantom goes up there, and it's almost like he's watching them perform from this vantage point above them, and it's really clever. You're the audience, you see him, but you know it's really clever the way they do that. And there are times when the Phantom's voice will dot from all around the theatre. Like his voice will come from one side, and it will jump over to this side, then it jumps over to the stage, and then it jumps back to behind you, and then all over the damn place. But it's really effective in what it does. This one was the one I got. You could also buy one that said the performers in it, but this one is the souvenir guide, and it has this picture on the back. That's the Phantom in his masquerade outfit. It's like a skeletal pirate sort of costume. But this one, this big book, yeah, there's a good view of the opera house of the theatre. That's the theatre you go into. And that's the chandelier. And then you got the whole thing of posters, and then this talks about this book primarily. It talks about the background. There's the Paris Opera House. It talks about the actual opera house itself. It's got bits of the lines in it. The singing was incredible. I mean, they certainly had incredible voices on. I mean, but at the end, they got a standing ovation. It just shows how great they were. But yeah, it's got great. It's got bits actually from the performance in it. This is when they're performing their Hannibal performance at the very beginning. Got there, Christine. It's got images at the bottom of the owners and Raoul. People. Madame Jury and everything. And then you got perfect image there, the Phantom himself. And the famous boat scene, which they go into when they actually sing the title song of Phantom of the Opera. But it's really incredible performance. Love Never Dies, the sequel, I've got a book from that somewhere, but it wasn't as good. They changed the setting. I think what makes the story's already there. It's already a classic story that the guy did. The original author, I can't remember his name, he's a French author. He's a French guy. He spent many times trying to write. I actually read a bit of this when we were in the theatre. He spent years trying to write like reviews and plays that never made it. And it seems quite funny that one of the last things he actually wrote was the original book of Phantom of the Opera. Of course, that's in French, but it's translated as Phantom of the Opera pretty much. But there are various bits of the performance that it's really awesome when they do it on the stage. It's there in front of you, and they're doing all this stuff. They do all this, and then this is all on the stage with you. You know, they're all on the stage. Suddenly it becomes something. Particularly this one for Masquerade. You see, there's a. I don't know how good this is going to come. But it's on like a huge staircase that they wheel in, and you don't know where the hell it's come from. And then as soon as that scene's over, they wing it out. It's gone as soon as it got there. It's like, where the hell did that staircase come from? And there's also a game of trying to see which ones are real people and which ones are dummies, because they have got a lot of dummies in that scene on the stage. Gaston Leroux is the original writer, but it was an incredible thing. And then Andrew Lloyd Webber put it to music, but Love Never Dies never truly made it. Really, it's closing down, I think, in this month actually. And the reason why is it's just not a very great sequel. I mean, you're basing it on Phantom. Phantom has endured over 25 years. There's a reason for that, because the story is a classic and the music is memorable. Music's memorable. The story is very in depth, and because it's in the opera house and the whole setting of the opera house makes it a lot more interesting. But the problem I think about about Love Never Dies is the setting and the story. The singing was great in that. Songs weren't as memorable, but I remember a few. Like the title song "Love Never Dies" and the song of "Hear You Sing Once More." I remember that. I don't remember any of the other songs though, and that's the big issue. That's the big issue I have. I have been to the stage before. I've seen a lot of things. I've seen a few things on stage. I've seen The Lion King on stage. I've seen Blood Brothers. I went in year 7 once to see something called Kensuke's Kingdom, which is based on a book. That was mostly for kids though. That was bizarre. But Blood Brothers and Lion King are done for people of all ages. Well, I think you might have to be a bit. You might want to be a bit older before you see Blood Brothers, as that is set. Yeah. I'm trying to remember Liverpool in the 1980s, I believe, when they were going through the big crisis, the big money crisis, and people were losing their jobs and everything. Anyway, going back to what I said, yeah, Love Never Dies. The setting is basically on Coney Island off New York at a big carnival. I think what made Phantom work, another thing that made Phantom work, is that ending. There's this sense of mystery about the ending. You don't know where the Phantom went. You don't know what he did. You don't know where he went after the events of Phantom, after it ended. He just disappears and we never know what happens. And then you never know what happens to Christine and Raoul. But I think the sense of mystery about it really, really helps. I think the sense of mystery about those characters really helps with the drama. But it helps with the overall experience. I've talked quite a long time now. By the way, I didn't get this actually at the performance. I got this for Christmas, bizarrely enough, because I wanted to do. I think I got it for Christmas. Yeah, I wanted to be Phantom once for a Halloween thing, but we never got the mask in time, and then I hadn't been invited to a party or anything. So hopefully for this Halloween, I might be able to get invited to somewhere, so I'll be able to go as the Phantom. I'll be able to go as the Phantom. But anyway, guys, really, if you haven't seen it already, check Phantom of the Opera out. Celebrating its 25th year. And one last message. Listen to the music of the night. Bye, guys. Rock on.